Friends, today's topic is electric field due to infinite plane sheet of charge. Infinite. See here, here, infinite plane sheet of charge, which is non-conducting, right? This is a plane sheet of charge. Plane sheet of charge, like a paper, very thin. If charge is given to this sheet, charge is given to this infinite sheet, the charge distributes uniformly on the surface and inside everything, right? So let Q charge is given to the sheet. Q charge is given to the sheet, positive charge. That charge distributes throughout the sheet as shown in figure. Here in the figure, the sheet is like this. Here is also the charge. Here is also the charge. Completely throughout the sheet, there is a charge, right? But here we have only one view, backside also. Throughout the charge, in and out, throughout the sheet, there is a charge. Given that surface charge density of this sheet is sigma, and you are asked what is the field at any point at a perpendicular distance, some perpendicular distance r from the surface of the sheet, right? Okay, if this is the sheet, now this is the position of the sheet, this is the sheet. From this sheet, I take one point here, a point P. Let from this center, from the surface, can't say, see, this is actually, this is the position of the sheet. From the sheet, here, I am taking one point here. P is a point at a distance, at a perpendicular distance. This is let r is the distance, r distance of point P from the surface of sheet. Perpendicular distance of point P from the surface of sheet, right? Here what is the electric field, how much it is? We had to calculate that one by using Gauss law. That is our question. Okay, first, if you see this sheet, on the sheet there is a positive charge. Here is also positive charge, here is also positive charge, right? Whenever one positive charge is here, due to the positive charge, field acts outward in this direction. Due to the charge here, field acts in this direction, right? So each and every charge here in this direction, charge here in this direction. So due to all these charges, the field acts in this direction, right? In the way here, if I see due to some charge here, the field is in this direction, E. Here, due to this charge, field is in this direction. Due to this charge, field is in this direction. Due to this, in this direction. In the same way, backside of the sheet, here is also charge. Due to this, field acts in this direction. If I think field in this direction, here field in this direction. So back and forth, field is there. So if you are asked how the field is acting perpendicular to the sheet outward, right? Because on the sheet here positive charge is present, right? So let at this point P, field is E. Field is E. Our aim is to find out this field, to calculate this field at the point P, right? So what actually we do? We consider a closed Gaussian surface enclosing that point P, right? For using Gauss law, what is the procedure? First, at the point P, what is the direction of the field taken, right? Next, consider a Gaussian surface which encloses the charge. See here, what type of Gaussian surface I am considering. It has to pass through the point P. See here, P should come onto the Gaussian surface. P should come onto the Gaussian surface. P should come onto the Gaussian surface, right? See here, I'm considering one cylindrical Gaussian surface Gaussian surface which is, see, what is the rule of drawing Gaussian surface? It should enclose the charge and symmetrical on either side. This is the Gaussian surface how it is. A cylindrical Gaussian surface is considered. It should be symmetrical on either side as per rule. So from here, how the shape is, in this side also shape should be same. So here if I take at the same distance r from the center, from the same distance r from the center, right? Axis. This is the shape of the Gaussian surface. So here, what is the next step we followed? A cylindrical Gaussian surface is drawn. A cylindrical Gaussian surface is drawn. This is the cylindrical Gaussian surface as shown, right? Next, what is the third step? What is the flux through that Gaussian surface? If we know it is a cylindrical surface, it has three surfaces, right? This one is a flat surface. The second one is the flat surface. And this is curved surface. Third one. This one is curved surface. Three surfaces. Then what is the flux through this Gaussian surface? See, area of this flat surface and area of this flat surface. These two, let sum A. Area of this surface is A and area of this surface is also A. And this is curved surface. If you see the electric field direction through which surfaces that electric lines are comes out. So if this is the sheet, electric lines are coming like this. So from that, what is clear? If you observe here, electric field is perpendicular to the plane. Here also, electric field is perpendicular to the plane, right? Perpendicular to the plane surface, this flat surface. And at anywhere, if you see here, electric field parallel to this curved surface. If you draw area vectors, if here I consider an area vector, area vector direction in this way. Here area vector direction. If I consider a small element, area vector direction in this way. Here, this is the way, right? See, for this surface, E and ds1 are parallel. Field direction and area vector direction. For this surface, E direction, ds direction, parallel. For this curved surface, E direction, ds direction, perpendicular, right? So Gaussian surface is drawn at the three surfaces. What is the angle between E and ds? E and ds has seen. Next, what is the next step? What is the next step? What is the total flux through the surface? Total flux. Through the Gaussian surface, pi total, or you can write pi. Is it not pi flat 1 plus pi flat 2 plus phi curve? Phi through this flat surface, phi through this flat surface, phi through this curved surface, right? Phi through this flat surface, how much? Integral E dot ds1 cos 0, because ds1 and E are parallel. For this surface, integral E dot ds2 cos 0 for this second surface. For this curved surface, integral E dot ds3 cos 90, right? So for this surface, E dot ds1 angle, as these two are parallel, cos 0. For this surface, E dot ds2, as these two are parallel, cos 0. For this curved surface, E dot ds3 cos 90, right? Okay. Then what comes out? Integral E dot ds1 cos 0, integral E dot ds2 cos 0. This is cos 90, this is 0. So we got E integral of ds1 E is constant for this one and this one. So E integral of ds1 plus E integral of ds2, right? What I said, area of this curved surface, let us say some A. Then what? How can I write? EA for this small element ds1. If this total area of the curved surface, area of curved surface is A, EA plus EA. So this is 2EA. This is first one, right? According to the see, what is the flux through this Gaussian surface? 2EA, right? Then apply Gauss law. Come on, note down. We'll apply Gauss law. Now apply Gauss law. Here I am applying. According to Gauss law, phi is Q enclosed by epsilon naught. Q enclosed by epsilon naught. See here, in this Gaussian surface, I am drawing here like this. This is the Gaussian surface I considered. What is the charge enclosed? See, whenever this, in this Gaussian surface, this portion of charge is enclosed. Whenever it is passing through like this charge, everything out of it, only this portion of charge. whatever the portion of charge is here, in this portion, because it is a sheet. Already I told you, it is a sheet. This Gaussian surface is like a cylinder passing through this sheet. See, whenever this cylinder is passing through this sheet, whatever the portion it covers, in that portion, in this portion, whatever charge present, that charge includes, right? If this area is A, if this area is A, already we consider area of this flat surface, and area of this flat surface is A, means for this also area is A, for this also area is A, right? So what is the charge enclosed in this? Its area is A, and for this sheet, surface charge density is sigma. So what happened to the charge enclosed? Q enclosed, its area into surface charge density, right? So Q enclosed is sigma into A by epsilon naught. This is second, right? We got flux through the Gaussian surface is 2EA. Then according to the Gauss law, flux charge enclosed by epsilon naught, charge enclosed is sigma into A, because in this A area only the charge enclosed by this surface, right? Okay. Then equate those two. Equate those two from 1 and 2. From 1 and 2. What you can write? 2EA. 2EA is equal to sigma A by epsilon naught, right? Any cancellations? A. Then what is V? Take this 2 on this side, sigma by 2 epsilon naught. This is the required expression for the field at a distance r, at some distance from the sheet, right? Come on, note down. One of the important question for boards, even for the board exam, it is one of the important question, either for 3 marks or 5 marks, and for entrance point of view also important, that formula. Right? Completed? Next. So here, what expression we got? E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught is the expression for the electric field at a point which is at a perpendicular distance r from the surface of the sheet, right? What type of sheet it is? Infinite sheet. But in practice, infinite sheet in the sense very big sheet, very big. The sheet size is very much large. Compare with the distances, that sheet generally we consider it as very big sheet, or infinite plane sheet, infinite sheet, right? Remember, in the problems, sometimes they give a very big sheet. Okay. Next. First thing, for this expression of E at a distance R, sigma by 2 epsilon naught. If you observe that expression, sigma is surface charge density, epsilon naught is permittivity of the medium. There is no R term in that. There is no distance term in that. Yes or no? What does it mean? E is independent of distance R. For what type of sheets? For big or infinite sheets. Big sheets are very infinite sheets. Big sheet, what I told you, size of the sheet, the dimensions of the sheet is very much large compared with distances. R value is very, very small compared with the dimensions of the sheet. That such type of sheets, E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught, where E is independent of the distance. In the entrance they ask, from the sheet, see, I'm showing like this. This is a sheet, thin sheet. Charge is given to this. One point is here at a distance R1. Another point at a distance R2. At a distance R2. At a distance, perpendicular distance R1. Field is E1. At a perpendicular distance R2. Field is E2. See, R2 is 2R1. Distance is doubled. Then what happened to the intensity of electric field at this point? So E2 is equal to E1. No change of intensity. E2 by E1 is equal to 1 only. 1:1. This is asked in previous sentence. Why, sir? E1 sigma by 2 epsilon naught. E2 sigma by 2 epsilon naught. There is no R term independent of the distance. For a big sheets, E2 by E1, 1:1, right? One thing. Second, this is one problem generally. Next, I kept this sheet. See, sheet is like this. This is the plane sheet. This is a plane sheet. This is X, this is Y, and this is Z axis. This is the plane non-conducting sheet. In which plane the sheet is? That sheet is in XY plane. Sheet is in XY plane. Then at this point, P is the point here. What is the direction of the field? What is the direction of the field? whenever you are asked what is the expression of the field, E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Okay. Sometimes they ask the field along with its direction. So here, whenever you are asked direction, what to see? What charge is present on? Positive charge. For positive charge, it is away, outward. So this is the direction of the field, in this direction. So here, if you are asked to mention it in vector form, magnitude is sigma by 2 epsilon naught k cap. Why k cap? It is along positive z direction. When sheet is present in xy plane, then field is along positive z direction, right? In the same way, this is the sheet. Now I gave negative charge on that. Negative charge on that. Same question I am asking. At a distance P, at a point P, at a distance R, what is the direction of the field and its magnitude? See here, magnitude, okay, E, sigma by 2 epsilon naught, no problem. Then what is the direction? If you are asked, what to see? What is the charge given to that? Negative charge. For the negative charge, field is inwards. We know that. Towards it. This is field direction. This is field direction, right? So what to do here? If you are asked in vector form, E bar is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught minus k cap, right? Minus k cap, like that. So whenever, in so many problems it comes, sigma they provide, sometimes plus sigma, sometimes minus sigma. Whenever they give plus sigma, there on the sheet, positive charge, outward. If minus sigma given, inward, right? You remember it. So in previous entrance, we got questions on. Okay. See, one of the important topic, tomorrow we discuss few more on this. Okay. Thank you.